p.m. up to the following day, 6 a.m., we are treating patients, and from there we go pray our Fajr prayers, prepare, and then come to the office. And then the following day at 2, 3. Now, if I have to continue that, there's no way the two can go together. As president, nation builder, and then taking care of patients, one would suffer. And obviously, I am the head of state. I'm supposed to build this country, and I give that more priority than treating patients. And so, if I can have somebody who can take care of it, that was what I was looking for, and thank God my son is doing it, so that's the bottom line. But it does not really mean that, oh, now James is retired, no. I'm still doing a lot of work. I still discover new medicines, and I hand it over to them to do the treatment. And when I have time to go and supervise, I go and supervise. All these treatments, the beginning of any treatment, I have to be there. That's obligatory. I have to start the treatment and hand it over to them. So let nobody have the notion that, oh, the president now has retired, is Ansu who is taking care of it. No. Even as it is, whenever they have a problem, they have to call me and say, oh, we have this problem, how do we fix it? I tell them what to do, and if it is just here nearby, I can tell them, okay, bring the patient and then let me administer this and that, and then show them what to do in the event that a similar occurrence happens. So I have not retired, and I will still be a herbalist up to the day I leave this world. I will provide treatment where I can. Where I cannot, I can prepare the medication for it to be applied, because all what they are doing is just applying the medication based on my instruction. But as I said, my priority area in treatment in herbal medicine is those diseases that are classified as incurable, that there is no medication for that. It is not true. There is medication for them. We can only say we don't have medication for it. As I said, the Prophet ﷺ was asked a question about ailments, illnesses and their treatment. Which diseases are curable and which diseases are incurable? And if I remember well, I think he talked about 2 or 3 ailments that are not curable. One is old age, and the other one is death, because there's no medicine to prevent you from dying. So sometimes in Western medicine, because they don't believe in God, they say, oh, if it were not for us, this person would have died. That's not true. The medicine didn't save. The medicine stopped the ailment because Allah doesn't want the person. It's not Allah's time for the guy to die. You will also would have noticed that, interestingly enough, way back in 1998, 99, they pronounced certain heads of state to live only not beyond 4 years. One of them was given 6 months, in fact. He lived more than that until he was killed recently. The other one was given 4 years to live. He's still healthy, but also is in a jail. So are a lot of other people whose death were already announced, and they've gone beyond what they said. Now, the interesting bit about all this is that we talk about Western medicine. Now, is Western medicine not from herbs or natural existing substances? I think 80% of so-called Western medicine is taken from plants and other naturally existing substances. So there is nothing Western or Eastern or African about it. One also should ask yourself, Somebody said it during the 6th anniversary, and this was also what I said before. Before the advent of Western medicine, European commercialized pharmaceuticals, Africans, you go to every village, you find an African who is 90 and above, who is normally the eldest. Or you'll find 3, 4 people that would be competing as to who is the eldest. Today, you have hospitals all over the place, medicine all over the place, modern gadgets all over the place, equipment, and people are dying like flies. Every day there's an obituary. So this begs the question, are we achieving in the medical field with modern technology, or we are failing? The answer is, your answer is as good as my guess. I'm not going to put a pronouncement on that, but I believe that when there weren't a lot of Western medicine in Africa, Africans lived healthier, longer, and better lives. Also, let me not be misconstrued as saying anything Western is bad. But where we live, I don't think Gambians have ever seen snow in the Gambia. In the West, they see snow every year. Or in some countries, you see snow every day. Now, if you want to conform your diet, here it's baking hot. And you want to deviate from our diet, which is natural to us, that God has given us as Africans, that this is what we should feed on. To a diet that is meant for temperate lands, we are asking for trouble. So when you look at Gambia today, compared to Gambia 25 years ago or 30 years ago, you look at the Gambians, you can see a marked difference. What would you see, especially when in terms of looking at the female members of the Gambian society? I remember even when we were in Form 3 Gambia High School, which would be 1980. Girls are called kobo, was, and whatever because they were lean. And so, if they don't want to be called skinny, they have to take what they used to call periacting to gain weight. And then I remember a lady called Nimanding, who used to say that the former president was her husband, a huge lady. They say she suffered from an overdose of periacting. Now, today, obesity is a problem. And it is escalating. It's a reality. And what is even alarming, you see obesity in kids, which is not normal for a normal African society. So, and then you see babies born with very serious defects. Defects that should be synonymous with industrialized, highly polluted countries. Gambia is not industrialized. We don't have all these pollutants. So where are these health problems coming from? Children being born with heart defects, enlarged heart and enlarged head, so many terms now. I don't want to misquote them, but I know most of the times that they, because each time they send me a request, it is something unusual. Diabetics. Diabetes in young people was very rare in those days. In fact, it was practically impossible to see a diabetic young Gambian. Today, diabetes is rampant. High blood pressure is rampant. Obesity is a big problem. What has gone wrong? If a brand new car all of a sudden starts to develop an engine problem, two things you look at. Manufacturer's defect, or what you put into the vehicle. In this case, in the case of the Gambia, most of it is not manufacturer's defect, but what is put into the engine. The human body is just like an engine. If you put the wrong type of fuel and lubricants,